All right, grade eights, welcome back to part two of 5.7, comparing ratios. Let's go back to the example we were just on. Making a second term in a ratio 1. So we now know the second term in any ratio is a second number, and we have to change that to the number 1. Here's the shortcut. Basically, whatever that second number is in that ratio, just divide it by itself. That'll always get you to 1. And just remember, whatever you do to the right side, do to the left. In this case, these numbers are compatible. They work out well. I chose them because of that reason. But don't worry, if the numbers aren't that compatible, you can still do this and still figure it out. So now I have new ratios down here. Take a look. Basically, what this ratio under term A means is that for every 1 glass of water here, there's 2 tablespoons of sugar. And over here in example B, for every 1 glass of water, there are 3 tablespoons of sugar. Which one is sweeter? Well, obviously the one with more sugar per glass of water. So in this case, it would be B. There is one last thing I want to teach you. It is how to use percents when figuring out comparing ratios. So in this case, I have to get away from the iced tea example, but we are going to use something, maybe another real life example for you. You might encounter this at home when you're going to paint your room or something like that. Well, my question is, there are 2 different types of paints. When you go and get paints, you basically mix white paint with a different color, and it'll give you a shade of paint. In this case, paint A, for every 3 cans of yellow paint, they mixed in 4 cans of white paint. And over here in B, for every 2 cans of yellow paint, they mixed in 3 cans of white paint. My question for you is, which paint will be darker? So if you're going to paint your walls this yellow, one will be lighter than the other one because there's more white paint. The more white paint you have, the lighter your paint color will be. So how can we do this, figuring out percents with ratios? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a part to whole ratio. We learned that in a couple previous videos. So part to whole, we're going to figure out how much yellow to the entire paint mixture. So in paint A, there is 3 cans of yellow to the whole group. Now, how many cans of paint in the whole group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our ratio here is 3 to 7. Over here, our ratio for paint B will be 2 cans of yellow to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total cans of paint. So remember, how can we figure out a percentage from this ratio? Well, this is one way to write a ratio, 3 to 7. Or I can write it like this in its fraction form, 3 to 7. And over here, it would be 2 over 5. Okay, well, now that I have it as a fraction, it's very easy to determine a percent. All I can do, I'll pull up my calculator really quick here. And 3 divided by 7. So 3 divided by 7 equals a decimal number. I multiply that by 100 to get me 40. We'll round up. 43% of this paint over here in paint A is yellow. Okay, well, let's take a look over here. 2 divided by 5, that's actually that's a pretty easy one to figure out. But we can use a calculator anyways. 2 divided by 5 is equal to 0.4. Times it by 100 means over here, 40% of the paint in this paint B is yellow. So if you had a paint where 43% of it was yellow, and over here only 40% was yellow, which one would be darker? Well, the higher percentage would be darker, and in this case, the 40%, the lower percentage would be lighter. So paint B is lighter, paint A darker. Don't worry if that didn't sink in. We'll work on some more examples tomorrow in class. Your homework for tonight is quite simple. Go to Edmodo, and I want you to comment your favorite number into the comment section. That's it. Mine would be obviously 23. I would just type the number 23 in there. And I don't want you to say anything else. I don't want you to say anything. Just type in the number 23. I want to see 38 students, all with various numbers commented on there. Don't say anything else other than my favorite number is. I don't want to see that. Just type me in your favorite number, and that is it. It's that simple. Thanks a lot, grade eights. Thanks for watching the second part. I will see you in math tomorrow. Have a great night, and keep your stick on the ice.